Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to tell you a bit about my new backdrop, which is just here, and indirectly about project planning. You should notice since last time that hopefully the background is a little bit more interesting, a little bit less beige. Firstly, the two posters. That one I got from dftba.com and that one is from forhumanpeoples.com. But the main thing I'm talking about here is the board here. It's my planning board. And I use it for my project planning because I have a lot of projects that need a lot of planning. I got the idea specifically from two different types of planning. The first is Scrum/Agile development, which is a software development framework, which essentially means that you put user stories or user tasks onto a board like this, which is what the pink things would be. Each one of those user stories would be completely independent and you could do any of them at any time. You then split them up into tasks, which would take a certain number of hours, and you would then move them along the board, and when you've got a big group of people, you can see what's currently being worked on, etc, etc. That is essentially what a Scrum board is. There's nothing special about it. It's just a really cool way of designing and planning projects. And since I've been using them at work now, I've fallen in love with it, and basically this puppy is going to be saving me a hell of a lot of time and stress next year when I'm in my final year at university. This isn't just a Scrum board though. I have adapted it ever so slightly. Mainly I've changed it so that it works a little bit like a Gantt chart in the way that it shows you dependencies and shows you which needs to be done before which, etc, etc. But that's what it is. How does it work? Essentially, there are 4 great big sheets of whiteboard paper. You can stick them to the wall with just static, but I'm also blue tacking things on top of them and things just fall off too frequently, so I decided to blue tack it. I then have 4 different columns. On the far left, I have the project column, which is basically just a list of 6 different cards which are used to like divide the board into separate lines. And that's basically just for organization. All of the tasks that belong to that project go in line with that card. The next column is the biggest column, and that's the to-do column. And essentially what I've done is I've decided what the next big chunk of work is that I need to do on a certain project. And these live in the to-do section until they're ready to move up into the next one, which is the in-progress section. Things that I have started that I haven't yet finished live in this section, basically. Basically, it's just a brilliant way of remembering what it is that I need to do next. And then I have a smaller section called live, and in the very top of that one, there is a record this video. So there you are, you're right there on the board. And the final column is the done column, and that's where you put all of the tasks that are done, I guess. And the idea of this is not only that you can see all of the tasks that you need to do over all of the projects that you need to do them in, but also you get the satisfaction, and it's really hard to explain, but there is some kind of satisfaction that is just given to you when you pick up a card and you move it onto the next section. When you finish a particularly gruesome task and you're like, oh, thank God that's over, move it over. That is really, really rewarding. And I've basically taken all of the things I'm trying to remember to do out of my brain onto the board, and now I can visually see them moving along. And I think that's half the secret to learning how to like be productive with your time and not procrastinate, is if you can visibly see how much you're doing and you can visibly mark your success, then I think you naturally want to do more and more and more, and that's the idea behind the board. Also, it gives you something prettier than me to look at if you're getting bored of looking at my face. Well, this year, I mainly have my main projects on there. So I have YouTube, I have my blog, I have the web development I have for both of my websites, both jamiepedno.co.uk and blitzsoftware.co.uk. I also have Project Blitz Planning, which is essentially putting this in an application for phones and web browsers and stuff. And then I have Project Stockholm, which is my top secret project, which you can't know about. Next year, this will be really good because I can put each different topic that I'm doing, I can put my dissertation on one, and I can keep track of all of the different tasks that I need to do. And learning how to split a really big project into small tasks is also really good because then you get to see how easy it fundamentally is. You're not looking at a huge essay like, oh, I've got to write this massive essay. You're actually looking at 5 tasks going, oh, I need to research that, write that. Job done. That's all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. But before you go, I'm doing another Q&A video. But it won't just be me, Laura will be here as well. She's my girlfriend, if you watch my daily vlogs. And I would like to ask you for questions. You can either ask her questions, you can ask me questions, you can ask the both of us questions. They can be relationship questions, university questions, whatever you want to ask us, ask away. You have a week to ask us the questions because I'll be filming it next week. But it won't be coming out for a couple of weeks' time because I've got another video lined up between now and then. Also, if you could answer a question, how do you keep track of all of your time outside of school and stuff? How do you plan all of your work and your projects and things? Does this sound appealing to you? But that's all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. There is, however, a blog post in the description down below, and that is a script to a video I was going to make, but ended up deleting it because I didn't think it was good enough to make a video, but it's good enough to put on a blog, so I'll put it on there. And yeah, that's all for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you later.